Would you like to know how to be more effective and get more things done in less time? If so, stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Matt. Topic of productivity and being more effective is super popular in internet, and apparently many people know what to do. So let me give you an alternative and different approach. Get yourself some notebook or make notes, because there's going to be plenty of information, very simple tips and tricks, what specifically to do to be more effective and get more done in less time. Firstly, get yourself a list. Always when you want to do something, if you cannot do this immediately, jot it down, put it on your agenda, and later fight with the list. Your agenda is your enemy. Your task is to eliminate all the tasks that are there. Always start with the easiest ones. This is very interesting. Sometimes there's a different approach available. People would say, I need to start with the hardest one so that when it's done, everything else is easier. But imagine this. Let's say you have 10 tasks, right? 9 are very easy and 1 is difficult. If you start with the more difficult one, most probably it's going to take you half a day. Then half a day has passed and you say to yourself, what did I do? And you say, I've got one thing that I did and 9 more to go. I have a different approach. I would start with 9 easy things, get them done in the first hour, and later have a couple of hours to deal with another thing that is more difficult. If I cannot do something immediately, I put it on my agenda, but I don't need an intermediary. So if I can send an email immediately, I would do this rather than putting it on the list, because once it's on the list is my enemy and I have to fight it. Always take advantage of free time that you have that simply appeared somewhere there when you're, for example, traveling, or when you're at the airport and you have a lot of free time on your hands. It shouldn't be lost. When I'm at the airport, I would send emails. When I'm driving, I always listen to audiobooks, or I have conversations. I wouldn't like to have conversations on the phone when I'm in my office, because then I can do something else. I'd rather do this in the car because it saves time, so that you can multitask a little bit in a sense that's effective. Always ask people, where's the beef? What do they want to talk about? Be gentle, be assertive, but always look for the solution. It accelerates the time and cuts through all the storytelling that people will always have for you. Of course, that's a different situation if you're on a date and there's the way and the reason why you guys are talking is emancipation, is to feel better, is processual, rather than being focused on any kind of objective. Don't lose time. Use the internet only as a tool. Go on internet to surf when you find for useful information, to work, to learn, but not to run away from reality. And it's absolutely amazing nowadays how people do this. There's research in the US that shows that 12-year-olds spend 9 hours in front of computer screen or smartphone. I mean, most probably they're living virtual life rather than real life. I'm from a different school of thoughts. I use the internet as a tool. I don't go on Facebook just because I want to spend time there. Actually, there's research which shows that people who spend too much time on Facebook might have depressive thoughts. So definitely I wouldn't be one of them. So rather than losing time, stay focused and have general areas in your life on which you focus. I do sports, I work, and I spend time with my family. And these are 3 most important things for me. Don't lose your energy for toxic people, for gossip, for negative emotions, for television, media, or internet. Make sure you're on a good diet and you lead a healthy lifestyle, so that you don't fight against your metabolism, or you don't get lethargic or sleepy because of too much sugar intake. Control your internal dialogue. Ask yourself questions. How can I do this faster, easier, in a shorter period of time? Make sure that you teach others what you learned, because teaching makes you remember information that you learned. Actually, when it comes to learning, teaching is the best method. Use proper technology. If you have the right smartphone, if you have the right car, you won't be focusing on things that don't work, but technology is going to make your life easier. Make sure you enter and you're in right emotions, because negative emotions will stop any kind of positive activity that you now might have. use motivational music and talk to yourself, especially in the morning when you might feel sleepy when you wake up or a bit dizzy even. Make sure you talk to yourself using strong, powerful voice for a couple of minutes. 2 minutes would do. Look into the mirror, elevate, raise your hands up and start talking to yourself, listening to favorite motivational music. Make sure you control the processes. Don't be a victim of circumstances. Don't wait so that life brings you something, but rather focus on taking it from life. Once you have control, you will not lose energy. Become proactive when it comes to calling people, when it comes to fighting for your dreams, when it comes to achieving your goals, rather than waiting. Do something in 1 minute blocks. It's fascinating how much you can get done in 1 minute. In 60 seconds, I can hug my wife, I can tell her that I love her, and I can say goodbye to her and promise I'll be back, say at 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. And I can do that in what, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Imagine that you have a couple of blocks that last for 30 seconds, and you call the person saying, I just called to say I love you, and you can even sing that song. Or I just wanted to tell you that I miss you, or send a text message. You get a lot done in a very short period of time. People usually think, I need to have an hour to talk to someone. No, you don't. You need to have a minute, literally. During 1 minute, you can give someone a compliment. You can tell them how important they are. During 5 minutes, you might have a meaningful conversation. 15 minutes should lead already to some sort of problem solution. Make sure you beat habits and habituate yourself, because once it's there, you're going to be on automatic pilots. Go to bed earlier so that you wake up earlier. You will be more effective. Don't procrastinate and don't leave the things for later. Make sure you put them on the list, because once they are on the list, now you can eliminate it from the list. You against the list. List is your biggest enemy. Have a few alternatives. If you are fixated on one thing, you tend to be extremist. So make sure you have a couple of solutions so that you don't put too much effort into one aspect. Otherwise, if it doesn't work out, you might be in trouble. Surround yourself with positive people. This is crucial, because these people will bond you with other people who are also positive and clever. My rule of thumb has always been to surround myself by positive and more clever people in certain areas. Block someone's and stop someone's negative thinking. If they go into negative storytelling, gently but assertively ask them to change the way they communicate with you. Don't try to change the circumstances which are outside of your scope of control. Don't worry about this, because if you think about what others are going to think, there's nothing you can do about this. It's like sitting at home and thinking, why is the storm here? I mean, it's here, that's it. There's nothing you can do about this. So just do something else. The skill of adaptation is connected with effectivity, because once you adopt the circumstances that you cannot fight against, you will actually use them for your advantage and for your own good. Spend less time in social media. We spoke about this. Don't quarrel with others. Don't use telephone and smartphone before you go to bed, because otherwise it's going to disturb your sleeping cycle and you might have problems falling asleep. Make sure that always when you can, you delegate things and you ask others to do things for you. This way you can have many more things done, because you can multiply it by time of others that you use for your objectives. Make sure you always start with the first step. So when you have a plan, go for what's the first step, what should I do? Make sure you eat regularly, because then you will not fight against your body. You will not feel drowsy, you will not feel dizzy, you will not feel lethargic because you ate too much sugar and your energy spiked and later it went down. Eat regularly and make sure it's healthy. When it comes to the way you walk and the way you talk, make sure that your posture is stable. Make sure that you don't lean in and you don't make yourself smaller. It's going to influence your stress hormone production. So make sure you have an open posture. Breathe in deeply so that you breathe with your diaphragm and your brain gets oxygenated. Make sure that you surround yourself with green colors. It will bring your pulse down, and that the place where you work or stay is clean. It will make you feel better. Avoid alcohol and artificial lights. If you can use daily light, that's perfect. And very soft sofas will most probably influence your sleeping patterns. So avoid them and sit on something comfortable but a bit more hard. And to sum it up, to be more productive, I got an exercise for you, which 3 people, 3 places, and 3 activities give and take away most of your energy. Once you do this and respond to this question, this will help you to know what to focus on more and what to avoid. Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Matt. I hope you subscribe this channel already to get more updated information on mixed mental arts. If you haven't done that yet, make sure you do and share this material with someone who might be interested in this knowledge. Give a thumb up if you're happy and leave a comment. Thank you very much. See you next time.